And I am coming to you live because I just completed a beautiful day with sitting with clients, and there were again a couple of themes that came up, and that is the idea of feeling unworthy or belittled or not heard, not understood. And what's interesting to me is something I've been noticing in myself lately, which is I have, especially regarding this band that I'm in. So if you've been following me, you know I've been playing in a band for a couple of years and we've been gigging more. And when I talk about the band, I will say things like, we have another gig coming up, and isn't that ridiculous? Or we got paid for our last gig. Isn't that hysterical? Or people actually invited us to play. Isn't that funny? And my vocal coach, Ashley Edwards, who does Own Your Vocal Power, if you're ever interested in doing that, it's kind of amazing. She helped to reflect back that language that I'm using and how when I use that language to talk about my band and what I'm up to, that it really demeans and belittles myself and all the work that myself and my band members have been putting into rehearsing and learning music and growing and expanding and moving through blocks of shame and like not wanting to be seen and all this sort of stuff. And so, since she reflected that back to me, I've been really noticing my language and how easy it is to belittle ourselves or play small because we have a hesitation around being fully seen or stepping in. And that can create this sense of kind of depression or lack of fulfillment because we don't allow ourselves to receive our full experience. And so, for me, this concept of depression is if this is us, kind of whole, that depression is, this is how I'm showing up and this is what my soul is asking for. And there's more and more and more space in between these these iterations of self. And so the to cure and heal, and I'd use that word specifically, cure, depression, we want to kind of bring these two things back together so that how I'm showing up in the world is very much in alignment with what my soul, what my spirit, what my essence is calling forward. And the closer we can get to that, then the more we are available to express ourselves more fully and live a more vital life. And that allows us to really appreciate, like, for example, appreciate all the time. I show up every Wednesday for an hour and a half to 2.5 hours and rehearse with my band and more if we've got a gig. And I've taken private lessons and I practice at home sometimes. And, it's so important to really honor and appreciate that and receive more fully the joy that comes through and the pride and the fun and the love that comes through from this experience. And so my invitation to you today is to really look carefully at the language that you're using to describe yourself, something you're involved with, something that's coming up, and are we using words in order to stay small? And if we are, why? Why is that important? Why is that? Why is a part of us choosing that? I use a lot of that IFS parts language because it's so helpful. Because there's a part of me that's like really proud and excited to be in this band, and apparently it's less conscious, less out in front of my awareness. Is this part of me that's still hesitant to be fully seen in that way. And so it's really this beautiful invitation for me to do the next layer of this work. I've done so many layers of releasing this pattern of not wanting to be fully seen. And there's another little nugget here for me, and I can notice that through my language. The other thing that I wanted to share is what are we sharing? What are we choosing to focus about? Again, I could talk about the burden of having to show up every week, and if there's, a tense moment within the band that we have to work through, I could focus on all of that, or I could focus on how interesting it is to be having a new experience and how touching it is to see other people that are having a good time or what it's really creating. And so what we choose to focus on, because they're both there, right there, but if we focus on the stuff that feels heavy or negative, it can really have an impact on what we're sharing and kind of cover up and again create that lack of fulfillment, that lack of satisfaction, that like, oh, I'm doing this thing but it's not that great. And so really two things: What words are you using to describe it? What are you really trying to say and to focus on? I made some notes so I wouldn't forget anything, but I can't read it. um, and which parts of the stories are you going to choose to share? So, what words are you using? What parts of the story are you choosing to focus on? What do you want to create more of? And just an invitation so to align the words and your true intention and make sure they're matching up. Because when I share with somebody that I'm playing in the band, my true intention is to just share this piece of my life that I'm having fun with. But the words that I was using were not reflective, they were demeaning to my process. And so as I grow and expand in my in this journey of life, it's really helpful to notice these things and start catching ourselves and calling ourselves out and really just asking, is that really what I want to represent and how I want to represent myself? So let me know where you're getting stuck. Where are you feeling in alignment? Send me a message. I would love to hear about the places where you feel like you've cleaned up this side of the street for yourself. And then where are the places where you're feeling a little more wobbly or you're not sure why you are expressing the way that you are, but you know that you're ready to step into more of what's possible for you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Dr. Nicola Dehlinger, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.